covered football. Now let's turn our attention to the NBA. It is time for NBA building blocks. So favorite players to build your DFS lineups around for tonight's 8-game NBA slate. And we are joined by DraftKings contributor Nick Friar. Wow!
Oh my God,
it's us.
He's my favorite analyst. He is. He is number one in my analyst power rankings here at DK.
Nick, we're just honored. So
did you see that other one I had of you, Jess? It was just you.
Oh my God!
Yeah, last week, one of the days where you weren't here and I had to put the company on my back. He had a great background.
Yeah. I'm really proud. I'm really proud and honored. So NBA building blocks, Nick. So which guard are you building around tonight? 8-game slate.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the higher end of the price range tonight with Steph Curry. I know 11K, it's pretty expensive going up against the Rockets, but this has the highest total on DraftKings Sportsbook tonight, this game. And then the Rockets, last time out, Steph Curry dropped, was it 51.5 DK fantasy points against them. And I understand being worried about, is this going to be a blowout scenario? Even though last game was, between these two teams, was a close game. Golden State only won by 2 points. The reason I like Steph Curry tonight is the manner in which he accrued his fantasy output last time out. He didn't shoot all that well, still got 21 shots up, still going to get that tonight. He posted a season high 12 assists too, so where he wasn't efficient from a shooting perspective, he got his teammates involved. And with Otto Porter Jr. out and Draymond Green, of course, he has the highest usage rate on the team at 30.9%. And he posts 1.29 DK fantasy points per minute in that setting. Another guy I like tonight, too, in the higher range, but definitely much cheaper, Tyrese Halliburton at 8.5K versus the Knicks, only if De'Aaron Fox is out.
All right, again, 8 games to choose from here. So best forward to play tonight.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you guys a little more savings here with Lou Dort at 6K going up against Portland. No SGA right now. He's got the ankle injury. He's going to be reevaluated after the All-Star break. Posted 27 points without SGA last game. Actually, SGA logged 17 minutes in that game, and Lou Dort still got 27 points. And he was like 8-7 rebounds, had the same output in the game before as well. Got 16 shots up in that game against Indiana. He gives you a ton of flexibility with his price and an elevated ceiling. And in the situation without SGA on the floor this season, 26.9% usage rate, highest one on the team, of course, not the crazy highest one, but still the highest one on the team. And the Blazers haven't done particularly great against opposing forwards this season either.
All right, Nick, which center do you absolutely need in your lineup?
Yeah, I know, Joel Embiid, of course, is always a guy you got to consider, and he's the only big that we got going tonight in terms of those high-priced bigs when you think of Jokic, and obviously you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, but it's just going to be Joel tonight, but I'm not going with him. I was leaning towards Evan Mobley at one point, but then Bam Adebayo at 7.5K going up against the Celtics was the guy who wound up winning me over. If Jimmy Butler's out, he becomes a much better play tonight. I know that Bam, he had that 50 DK fantasy point performance in his second game back after his long stint out with the injury, and then he kind of regressed from there, but it's been a steady climb since his third game back from his injuries, coming off consecutive double-doubles. I know the Celtics are an efficient defensive team and this is a pace-down game for the Heat, but Bam Adebayo leads Miami when Jimmy Butler's off the floor in DK fantasy points per minute at 1.35K. So I like him a lot tonight. Even if Jimmy does play, I know he's questionable right now, I still like Bam a lot. Another guy who's a good option too, a little bit more expensive, Yusuf Nurkic at 8.3K going up against the Thunder.
We're getting reports from our producer that Embiid may be out for rest tonight.
Yeah, in fact, he has been ruled out tonight versus the Grizzlies for rest. And you know where I got that from? I got the information not only from producer Drew, who is always on top of it, absolute all-star and a cat dad, but DK Nation here on Twitter. This is why I follow DK Nation. God bless you, DK Nation, for doing what you do every day. How about a value play? Can you build around a value play tonight?
Yeah, I think there are a few good options here, and injuries, of course, are going to play a factor in things. And now the Sixers situation is going to look a little bit different as well. But Jordan Poole is a guy that's probably my number one favorite. Again, going back to that Warriors-Rockets games. But other guys I do like Davion Mitchell at 4.9K. Again, if De'Aaron Fox is out. Luke Kennard at 5K going up against the Pacers. He's been returning 5 times value consistently of late and had a couple big games. But when it comes back to Poole, because he ultimately is my favorite guy at 5.5K, third highest usage rate in the current situation where there's no Otto Porter Jr. or Draymond Green. The only guys who have a higher usage rate are Klay Thompson, of course, smaller sample size, and then Steph Curry. But Poole's is at 25%. And he's returned over 6 times value last time that Golden State saw Houston. And again, I mentioned it earlier, this has the highest total on DraftKings Sportsbook, so you got to go and get guys from this one.
Yeah, let's move to the DK Sportsbook. Find your favorite bet to build your bankroll with.
So for today's NBA cheat sheet over on DK Playbook, I had the Grizzlies at +2.5 going against the 76ers. I don't think they're going to be underdogs going into this one anymore without Joel Embiid. Put it plainly, the 76ers are one game over 500 against the spread, and they're not good as home favorites against the spread. They're not good when playing with a rest advantage against the spread. I still like the Grizzlies if they become the favorite, which I do think is going to be the case. But just kind of going with the news and everything, if that turns into them being a heavy favorite, my favorite bet then becomes Lou Dort's points plus rebounds prop tonight. It's at 22.5 going up against the Blazers. I just think the amount of volume that guy is going to get and the work he normally does on the glass, he's going to hit that over on that number easily.